Peter was in town a day handing out stickers, so I gave one to my cat. I'm an asshole. I wear fur. I can't understand why ancient Egyptians needed to build such large pyramidal structures, just as a tomb of pharaohs. Literally, what's the point of a pyramid? This. I'm big, but not that big. Get me a smaller size. That's better. Ancient Rome was a confusing time for husbands. I'm ugly. You're beautiful. I've geeked off to just a picture of your face before. Not even a need. Be right back. Crying. I've heard of a backhanded compliment, but this is a one-handed compliment. There is good in goodbye, hell in hello, lie in believe, if in life, over in lover, but there is no end in die Bismarck Klass Sklatsch Skift Terpitz, 1941. I'm dropping out of college. That's incorrect. How do you even get in? Door. I got catcalled today, so I get home, right? My phone goes off, and the caller ID shows it's my manager. I'm not entirely happy about this. See, I literally just got home. I answer anyway, and there's some weird static. I can't get my manager to answer me, and I start to worry. I text her instead. Her cat was ducking sitting on her phone and bet dialed me. The static I heard was him purring. The only kind of cat calling that's acceptable, quite frankly. Someone asked me why sharks stick their dorsal fins out of the water. The answer is simple. Sharks' dorsal fins stick out of the water sometimes because their fins are on top of and therefore higher than the rest of their body, and sometimes their body is near the surface of the water. Who hates speeding tickets? Raise your right foot. Say something nice about the UK. You guys created the largest number of Independence Days around the world. Childish Gambino announces he has 2 albums coming, one of which will be the final Childish Gambino album. I'm guessing it's gonna be the second one. Just at work. Tripping on acid. Overall, how would you describe society during the Depression? Poor. Important. If you receive a message at 4:50 p.m. on Friday and reply to it at 8:10 a.m. on Monday, you're technically replying after 20 minutes. When someone asks what the capital of Russia is. God is like oxygen. You can't see him, but you can't live without him. You can't see oxygen. Here is oxygen at minus 218.8 degrees Celsius. Now show me God's photo. I mean, to be fair, you'll see God at minus 218.8 degrees Celsius as well. Maturity in football is realizing that the GOAT of football has only 5 letters in his last name. Messi. Age is just a number. Love is eternal. Jail is just a room. Chime is chime. And Slex is just consensual rape. Shut up. How did you quit porn? Like the title states, wasn't getting the work anymore. I guess I was aging out of the scene, unfortunately. Now I work corporate, but at least it still feels like I'm getting duck daily. Usually Control W to close the tab, I think. To each their own. I usually click the little X button. Throwback to when my kid ate whatever I made for dinner without complaining. My Tinder bio says that I have a corner office with views of the entire city, drive a $500,000 vehicle, and that I'm paid to travel. My dates are always upset when I tell them I'm a bus driver. Don't forget, tonight the moon will be visible from Earth. The last time this happened was last night. A werewolf. A werewolf. A werewolf. A werewolf. What's your unpopular opinion that would get you in this situation? Walking into a sword convention and yelling swords are rubbish. Arguing on the internet is literally turn-based combat. So what brings the two of you here today? It's impossible to live with him. He's too literal. And you? My truck. The world before and after you make a mistake. For someone working in a nuclear power plant, I think the world would really change for that one mistake. The only open-minded presidents we've ever had. That's one way to say it. Hard to swallow pills. I love how Doctor Strange is just watching Avengers 4 in the background. Angry. Frustrated. Boys will still reply with okay to both. The duck you want me to reply with to a blank messages. What the duck? My dad told me his password is Mickey Minnie Goofy Donald Pluto Hualawi Dewey Dublin. because he was told his password had to contain 8 characters and at least 1 capital. Here's something you don't see every day. O2. Hey, don't wait for me. I'm at the hospital. Is everything okay? I'm okay. It's just my cousin. He can't speak or walk. Oh my god. What fucking happened? Nothing serious. He was just born 2 hours ago. How is everyone holding up? Gently, as not to disturb it. What makes you have these? Seen usually. My drawing was not a picture of a hat. It was a picture of a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. From a children's book called The Little Prince. I thought it was Spinosaurus's sail, but came to find out it's snake for. So today I found out that I'm allowed to carry a knife with me to school as long as it's smaller than 3½ inches, but I still can't show my shoulders, and if that's not a perfect description of American schooling, I don't know what is. Cover your shoulders with knives. Shoulder blades. No matter what temperature a room is, it's always room temperature. Kids who died of dehydration because you can't drink until you're 21. When you buy and wear clothing like this, you're actually paying them to advertise for them. What is the safest answer when your girlfriend asks if her friend is heat? Yeah. 37 degrees Celsius. Do crabs think fish are flying? How high are you? 5 feet 9. Many people don't know how massive Russia is. In fact, Russia is so large that you can fit the entirety of Russia inside of Russia. Everyone you touch ice. What you doing? Technically, everyone you touch does die. Just a matter of time. Someone rubbed one off in the elevator. Explain a film plot badly. Guy at the office lost his connection to the internet. Did you know? Saturn have a very low density. If you place it in the Pacific Ocean, we all will die. A vehicle worth around 0.5 billion comes to pick me up every day. What's that vehicle? The vehicle? I think we can all agree that if your pizza isn't from New York or New Jersey, it's probably from somewhere else. Which year wasn't on the brink of World War III? 4000 BC. 1994. Your heartbeat is probably perfectly synchronized with someone else's, especially if you are dead. Hey, you going to sleep? Yes, now shut up. The only part of your reflection you can click is your tongue itself. Flip-flops are just thongs for your feet. We will now be charging 50 cents for each additional sauce. When you ask your husband to get you pads with wings, the package wasn't delivered. Can you send proof? Which 3 states can be seen in this picture? Solid, liquid, and gas. Anakin is a hero for helping us end childhood hunger. You guys really didn't have to go there. Bill Gates has more dollars than you have seconds left in your life. My friend ordered a chicken sandwich with pickles on top and was surprised when she received this. I say she got what she asked for. How do you feel the words of a heartfelt poem? The blind guy. Alcohol, it's cheaper than therapy. Lee's discount liquor. A shark could swim faster than me, but I could probably run faster than a shark. So in a triathlon, it would all come down to who is the better cyclist. If you could have a superpower, but could only use it in bed, what would it be? It's funny how everyone thinks it'll be not safe for work related, but it's just about getting massive amounts of sleep. Which I wouldn't mind either. Massive amounts of sleep is literally not safe for work. I've heard good things about this game. Hope my phone can handle it. Marvel Spider-Man 2.mp4. Sorry to tell you man, but that's a video. Yes, that is why they are called video games. Twinkle twinkle little star. Star whose radius is 107,280 kilometers. Contrary to the popular belief, it is possible to sail from London to Paris in a perfectly straight line. Fine, I'll concede and say it. Apple has a monopoly on the App Store. Let her speak. Who bombed Pearl Harbor? The bomb. Who bombed Pearl Harbor? Hey guys, do you know what is it? It's a really fast robot cleaner. When activated, it will clear everything in 20 meters radius. People who don't know. People who know. Joseph, the native Mad Lad, A Native American named Joseph Medson Crow was fighting in World War II when he completed the 4 tasks required to become a war chief. He touched an enemy without killing him, took an enemy's weapon, led a successful war party, and stole 50 horses from a German camp. War chiefs were exceedingly rare before that, since it's pretty tricky to cross the Atlantic with a canoe in order to steal 50 horses from a German camp. Did you know? Rub a bit of olive oil and Epsom salt on the painful spots on your body and it will immediately feel greasier and saltier. I've had food poisoning for the past 3 days. What did I miss? Solid peeps, I'm guessing. You mother ducker. How it started. How it's going. How to find out how old is a tree. If you know when the tree was planted, you can easily and accurately determine its age. No drinks back here, unless they have a screw on top. Thank management. I absolutely love Worcestershire sauce. What's so special about it? It's hard to say. Robotic arm driven by water and electricity. My arm is also driven by water and electricity. This is how much grosser as you get in Belgium for $50. Is it okay to hate a certain race? It certainly is okay. I do. And I have a good reason too. So if you have a good reason to hate a particular race, I see no problems with that. And all those oh so holier than thou types that say you should accept all races equally, well, you can just ignore them and tell them to go snack an egg. Some races are inferior and that's just the way it is. In my case, I hate 8Ks. What's with 8Ks anyway? Why not just make it a 5K or a 10K? Those are official times. And I can compare my race times with other runners in other races. But 8Ks? What do I do with that? I hate 8K races and make absolutely no apologies for doing so. But that doesn't mean I don't want 8K races to exist around me. Sure, they can be out there, just don't force me to accept them as equal to a 5K or a 10K for example. They're inferior. And stupid too. Quick animal facts. If you stacked every elephant in the whole world on top of each other, they wouldn't like it. Did you know? LeBron has never lost a game that he won. 929 out of 929. Rick Ross says he is sitting on at least 2,825 unreleased songs. That's a couch. Yeah, Bhutan is so small, they don't need so many embassies, although it's cool to note that none of the 5 permanent UN Security Council members are Bhutanese embassies. If I remember correctly, they had disputed borders with China, right? That could explain the lack of an embassy despite directly bordering. If I remember correctly, they had disputed borders with China, right? Everyone sharing border with China had disputed border with them. Hell, Japan has dispute with them over sea control and islands. China has disputed borders with China. List of books to read before you die. 1. Any book you want. 2. Don't read books you don't want to read. 3. That's it. 4. Congratulations, you did it. I really like this list. All my favorite books are on it. Thanks, I worked really hard on it. Blake Lively is pregnant, and you'll never guess what it is. Hopefully a baby. Bro, what do you do for a living? I drive. Court is all like place your non-shut wiping hand on this book of half-remembered ghost stories told by inbred winners and promise not to lie to this final boss cop in a goth prom dress. Okay sure man, whatever you say. Yo, I wanna know how it got banned. The mods pressed the ban button. I hate lazy people. Why? We didn't even do anything. Today's offer. Bite a beer and pay for both. As a kid, I never believed I'd be a 38-year-old self-made millionaire. I'm still not, but I didn't lie to myself when I was a kid either. When's a good time to lose your virgin city? When's a good time to lose your virgin city? During Slex. Local brewer is not your average nachos. When is the ideal time to play Call of Duty? When duty calls. What fundamentally ends any relationship, not just romantic ones, between humans? Mere dear. What do you think should never be a pizza ingredient? Concrete. The signs we are everywhere. I never wanted to believe my dad was stealing from his job working on the roads, but when I got home, all the signs were there. Had to post here, it was a sign. Where is the 2024 solar eclipse? Earth. Haha. How are you? Good. You wanna see something cool? Ah. Sure. It's me carrying this conversation. I'm a virgin. Nobody's a virgin. Life ducks all. I guess Jesus took the wheel. Easter is also Cinco de Mayo this year. Nope. Easter is March 31st. How much do you want to bet? You. What's the easiest drug to cook? ChatGPT. The easiest drug to cook is caffeine. AI will take over the world. You. Tell me an odd number without the letter E. ChatGPT. Sure. How about 11? I mean, it's technically right. It never said E. Technically correct is the best kind of correct. What do lawyers wear to court? Lawsuits. Remember, civilians aren't bound by the Geneva Conventions. It's not waterboarding if you use diesel. Based on my avatar, what games do you think I play? Roblox. Write a sentence that would make a chess player cry. Write a sentence that would make a streamer cry. Your family has been pronounced dead. Well, I think that would make every chess player cry. The tallest pancake in the world is 75 centimeters. Wow, so tall. Yeah, that's like as tall as a 75 centimeter ruler. That's a terrible analogy. Einstein developed a theory about space, and it was about time too. If I punch myself, and it hurts, am I strong or weak? It means you hit a nerve. How can you move up in the world? Travel north or become an astronaut? Oh my god, that cat is adorable. Do you have a source? The earliest cats probably appeared about 35 to 28.5 million years ago. Proelurus is the oldest known cat that occurred after the Eocene-Oligocene extinction event about 33.9 million years ago. Fossil remains were excavated in France and Mongolia's Sandagal Formation. Fossil occurrences indicate that the felidae arrived in North America early as 25 million years ago. Game. Stealth is optional for this mission. Me. It still counts as stealth if no one lives to tell about it. Which game? Which game? My brother's visiting. I made focaccia and told him to take a bite while it's warm, and I came back to this monstrosity. How is there a Bluey game on Xbox? There's a Bluey game, and it got put on Xbox. That's how. What do you think separates Manchester from other cities in the UK? The M60. My nephews. They asked for a big 5 somewhere on the cake. Central Asia has got to be one of the most impactful yet least talked about places in the world. Mongol Empire, Silk Road, Marco Polo, etc, etc, etc. It's still quite peripheral. It was still important, but was never the center of anything. It's the center of Asia. Doctor, my back hurts when I wake up in the morning. Wake up in the afternoon then. There is Ramen is the name of a ramen shop in Tokyo. Awesome noodles to be had. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a YouTube milestone that not even Mr. Beast has. Double-digit subscribers. Chris Paul says he's addicted to playing in the NBA Finals. Now that I've got a taste of what that experience is like, I'm sort of addicted. CP3 is officially 3 years sober. The depths. What was your lowest point in Tears of the Kingdom? How many crayons can you store in a fridge? At least 2. FBI agent Robert Hansen was tasked to find a mole within the FBI. Robert Hansen was the mole and had been working with KGB since 1979. His espionage was described by the Department of Justice as possibly the worst intelligence disaster in US history. Well, he was the right person to find the mole. He just wasn't the right person to say who it was. They say Nome is where the heart is. Do you know the capital of Alaska? Nice vid, but why is your face so cute? Genetics? Image of a Bagrok committing genocide. This is a heat chick. Phoenix chick. Creature. Phoenix. Flying. Haste. Phoenix chick can't bulk. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may pay. If you do, return Phoenix chick from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking with a +1 or +1 counter on it. These fighters are trapped together in a room. Who's coming out alive? Everyone. You never said they were fighting. They work together to escape. What comes up to your mind if you see this? PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2. What do you call a handyman without any hands? An army man. One thing you couldn't call him is a wanker. If someone gets 5 aces, I think they have to let them take a picture that's a 1 in 13 to the 5th power or 0.000269%. It's actually slightly less likely than that, but we don't know how many decks they are using. But it's crazy low and the real number is even lower. The odds are even lower if they are only using one deck. Infinitely lower. Yes, and China has a larger population than Europe, and tens of times larger than Italy, 20 times larger than Italy, LMRO, which is more than 110. Julius Caesar died more than 100 years ago. Technically correct. Roman Empire fell before last year. What a good son-in-law. This is Jessica's father. You took my daughter bitch and city. Sorry sir, it won't happen again. My man just carried 5 guys